Mid-sized handguns destined for concealed carry are an ever-popular choice for many, so much so that finding a newly released handgun in stock is nearly impossible these days. The new guns are great, but in this market, your best bet might be seeking out a late-model pistol. Here's a rundown of the best semi-automatic handguns that can be easily found during the current boom in firearms. Glock 19. We're going to kick this off with the most obvious, and certainly the most popular choice, which is none other than the Glock 19. The Glock 19 is likely the most popular 9mm handgun of all time, and with good reason. The 19 pioneered the compact size category, but it still comes standard with 15-round mags. It can also accept 17 to 33-round mags. It's famously durable, and the Gen 5 version of the sidearm features a great trigger. They are relatively inexpensive, easily obtainable, and are reliable as a hammer. The latest 5th-generation Glocks include optic-ready slides, forward slide serrations, match-grade barrels, flared magazine wells, aggressive grip texture, and the best trigger the company has produced to date. But that doesn't mean the previous 4 generations are irrelevant. Far from it. The 3rd-generation models are probably the most prevalent guns out there today, and the Glock 19 is the reigning champion as the most popular pistol in the world. These guys are out there in abundance, and even at inflated pricing, they are still quite a value. You also can't swing a dead cat without toppling over displays full of aftermarket Glock sights, accessories, holsters, and other support equipment, which makes it easier to hit the street with everything you need to start carrying it immediately. SIG Sauer P365. The P365 is the current pinnacle of micro-compact pistols. If you can find one, buy it, you won't be dissatisfied. The P365 was envisioned as the only everyday carry pistol a person might need. The design objective was aimed at a demographic that would carry this pistol 7 days a week and 365 days a year, hence the name 365. SIG absolutely nailed it, producing a pistol that fights far above its weight class and is as close to a jack-of-all-trades pistol that anyone has produced to date. It's small enough to pocket carry, but large enough to control comfortably. It's incredibly accurate and easy to shoot while boasting a modular design capable of accepting magazines with capacities of 10, 12, and 15 rounds, all in a frame that's a mere 1 inch wide. It's not too big, nor is it too small, it's just right. Due to the release of the XL, SAS, and optic-ready models, legacy P365 models are popping up on the secondary market as current owners trade up to the latest model. Take advantage of this opportunity and snap one up. Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm. Smith & Wesson hit an instant grand slam with their Shield 9mm pistol. The Shield 2.0 and newly released Shield Plus are upgrades over the original with better factory triggers and a more aggressive grip texture. The Shield is a single-stack 9mm that has a sub-1 inch wide frame, making it easy to conceal, while the great ergonomics make it quite easy to shoot. Up until the micro-compact category of pistols was released a few short years ago, the Shield was arguably one of the best single-stack 9mm concealed carry pistols ever produced. The company has produced an incredible number of these guns, many of which have sold for about $250 over the last few years. If you can locate a used one for twice that cost, it would be a good buy. Let's talk about what makes this pistol really great though: ergonomics. The grip is rounded off to fit your hand perfectly. The stippling lets you get a good grip without being overly harsh on your skin. The grip angle, 18 degrees, is downright perfect for instinctive aiming. Plus, now that the magazine holds 13 rounds, the balance is perfect. That's something about a 3-barrel with a double-stack magazine that just feels good in the hand. Glock 43. To say that Glock was a little late to the single-stack party by the time it released the Glock 43 is a bit of an understatement. That said, like most of Glock's products, it's better that they're late than never produced at all. The Glock 43 is a blockbuster for good reason. The G43 is one of the smallest 9mm and lightest 9mm pistols on the market. Also, it's incredibly thin. Its grip is short enough to allow pocket carry. However, it shines in a good I-to-B holster. In a good holster, this Glock subcompact 9mm is small enough to completely disappear. Plus, it has the reliability and functionality that Glock fans depend on. This is the smallest Glock if you don't count the Glock 42. If you demand a Glock for concealed carry and want an incredibly small pistol, the Glock 43 is definitely for you. There are only 2 real drawbacks to the G43. First is the limited ammo count. It only holds 7 rounds of 9mm. Secondly, people with big hands have commented that it's hard to get a good grip on the GLOCK 43. If you want the best all-around Glock for concealed carry, look at the GLOCK 43X. If you want the smallest Glock 9mm, the GLOCK 43 may be exactly what you need. The classic James Bond gun. Here's the classic that refuses to die. The WALTHER PPK has been James Bond's go-to gun for decades now. It is most definitely small enough to conceal easily. It shoots very well, and doesn't kick bad either. Equally as important, its accuracy is touted by many. The PPK was without question the carry pistol that defined carry pistols for decades, and could be found in the holsters of secret agents to normies, the world over. Compact, good looks, and smooth lines have solidified this pistol's reputation in popular culture, and as a reliable protector on the streets, and established it early on as one of the world's best semi-automatic handguns. Normally, I'm not quick to recommend self-defense pistols in calibers smaller than 9mm, but in the case of the PPK, the 380 ACP is acceptable with the right modern load, given the pistol's concealability and these abnormal times. While the PPK is now considered more of a classic, I wouldn't hesitate to roll out the door with a PPK on my hip. Simply put, this classic pistol rocks. And as old as its design is, it still works for today's concealed carrier. It doesn't hold as many rounds as the new guns, and it isn't as light. It is still a viable concealed carry gun though. COLT 1911. For all that the purists out there, the sun is almost set on the 1911's reputation as a reliable concealed carry pistol. Technology has simply surpassed the 1911's ability to remain relevant. This is, of course, compared with today's best semi-automatic handguns that have raised the bar so high that the 2 World Wars champ just can't reasonably compete any longer in price point, reliability, and magazine capacity. The 1911 is a fine pistol, has been mass-produced for the last 110 years, and is prevalent in today's secondary market. Pricing has remained consistent for higher-end models from manufacturers such as Wilson Combat and Nighthawk Custom, and mid-grade guns, such as those from Springfield Armory, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, and Kimber. 1911s are the original slim-framed concealed carry pistols that are incredibly shootable, thanks to an ideal grip angle, fantastic ergonomics, and a tunable single-stage trigger. You also can't argue with the effectiveness of the 45 ACP as a defensive round. These guns aren't Glocks, and are best suited for the experienced enthusiast because they require maintenance. You'll need the ability to hand-fit replacement parts and the skills necessary to keep them reliably functioning. The 1911 commands mentioning in this list because it has served us well for so long. SIG Sauer P320. The SIG P320 is another striker-fire polymer pistol on our list. It's extremely reliable and features interchangeable components so that you build your own SIG the way you want. The P320 features a removable fire control unit that can be placed in frames of different sizes. The model won the U.S. Army modularity competition and was adopted as a sidearm for the military. That fact speaks for itself. The P320 is ambidextrous and has all controls operable from either side. There's no external safety or decocking lever that could get caught on the clothes on the draw. The full-size version is chambered in the 9mm and boasts a capacity of 17+1 rounds. The X-Series trigger is a flat-profile trigger that breaks at 90 degrees and ensures faster follow-up shots. If you need a SIG for concealed carry, consider the P320 compact in 9mm with 15+1 round capacity.